Okay guys, hi, welcome to part 6 of the video. Apparently I'm doing parts 3, 4 and 5 almost back to back because I'm not feeling the greatest and it's giving me something to distract myself from the pain. So we left off on the end of part 5. We just sliced up some of this to try and sort out some of the detail issues we're getting while we're beveling it. I've just noticed that I need to put another cut through to sort out another problem, so I'm going to do that. It's just here. And we're getting the good old unable to regenerate contours. I love that. Not. No, we'll just do this. There we go. That should, yes, have given us the cuts. So, what I'm hoping I've just managed to do is slice this up enough so that when we do the edge beveled in a moment, it does it without any major hassles. We'll soon find out. So that, and if anything, we seem to have made some of it worse, which surprises me a little bit. Yeah. And well, that one's because somehow we tripled the polygons when we so okay, rather than continuing to argue with this that way, we'll fall back to what I know definitely works, and I find a little bit easier for sorting through when things like this are happening. So surprisingly, that, which for the most part is exactly the same as what we were doing otherwise, works fine. We want these two. These two. Good. Edge. For some reason we have 12 still selected. because the other side still, we're ignoring the other side. We'll mirror. Again, we get some funkiness happening here where certain parts are displacing as they should and certain parts aren't, and other polys just vanish. So we're going to do some movement by hand here. This set really should display slightly up like so, and of course we need to build that poly. And the other place where it didn't seem to displace properly was here. So we'll displace it ourselves manually. Edge. I will remember the actual key to just drop this current selection at some point. So here's another one where it didn't displace seemingly properly. It didn't displace on that side properly. It likely didn't displace on this side properly either. Like so. And what I get the feeling Lightwave's just... No, okay, Lightwave didn't crash, it was just playing... It's just really playing funny buggers with us. Selecting parts that we can't even see for some reason. Now, the edge bevel's decided that it doesn't want to work. You've got to love Lightwave at times. Or edge chamfer, I should say. I call it edge bevel. Shoot me. Yeah, edge bevels. Actually, I'm going to save and just to be on the safe side. I'm trying something here. What we do need to do anyway. It's just we keep getting this set of points of edges selecting that aren't visible. I'll hide this group again. So, okay, here we should have everything deselected again. Let's hope this time it stays deselected. Okay, no. At some point we broke chamfer. So just give me a second here. We're going to not save. So we just mirrored everything over so that all the work that I've been doing on the top sections should be matched up, presuming I mirrored the right side. And we need to somehow Okay. And just like that, bevel's working again properly. Or chamfer, edge chamfer's working properly. I think I've got all the edges. No, I don't. And we can see that we're going to have a problem unless we do this here and yeah, simply because we know what three-sided polys do. So that we want a very slight bevel on all of these. Happily drop that. And the rest of it all looks good. So that's that plating all done. And here we get to see that I've mangled this side a little bit. So I've got two options here. I can just delete everything and grab the parts that are missing, which is what I'm going to do, or I could actually just find each and every one and mirror it across, but we know that it's basically from there up. So we do that, we merge, and we just do a search here. 0 point polys here, and we get rid of them. So at this point we have this. We need to do the little bit of detailing we said down here, and then we can get on to materialising this. So if we look here, we can see that they've got these panel lights. Like we saw before, the quickest and easiest way of doing these is to take existing geometry, but I'm going to show you another way of doing it. So based on this, I'd say we've got what we can see here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. And that'd put us about here. So I'd say we've got 18 around the entire thing. So I do this, and the option we've got is we can either mirror rotate each of these manually, or we can try something that I don't do that often, because I tend to do things a long way, which is an array radial along the z-axis. 18. Okay. So we have 18 of these boxers. I tend to think of these as copper heat pads. So we'll just name them copper sinks. We're going to select the copper sinks, multi-shift, and we're going to shift them out by 10 centimeters. Then, because the tops of these are all still selected, we're going to do a Control B, like so. So it's not quite what I was after. More like that. Now, any edge bevel we put on this would probably be a little pointless. It'll be too fine of a bevel, but we are going to, while we're here, put one on this section, put another one on this section, one on this section, one on that, and one on that. Now, something I've just noticed looking at this. Really, this inner ring, so this section shouldn't rotate. This section out here, this outer ring should, but this inner ring shouldn't. So really, this hab module section should be two distinct segments in the case of this singular part. So I want all this segment. I'm going to paste it onto a new layer because it'll allow us to do this, and we'll paste all that in. Which gives us this segment. And ideally, we need to split this segment. So we're going to grab this, modify, multiply bandsaw pro, which will give us a radial bandsaw across the segments. Except for we need to do it on this side and delete the other side in. Yeah, so we want that ring there. This ring and this ring, we're going to take these, put them on there, and that ring, fine, it's going to make me do this the hard way, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So, now that we've got this, we want to grab this edge, hit E, which is extend. We want to bring these back to the middle, so on Z0. And do the same on this set. Oops. Merge them. So what we've got here is an inner ring, which in a moment we'll give its own little bevel. And we don't need that anymore. An inner ring here, which will have its own little bevel. And of course, if we were going ultra detail, we could put in all this extra detail items on the inside here, like the bearing rings and the like, to actually allow this to rotate and all that fun stuff. And we're going to have to adjust our layers to account for the work we just did. Though, actually, no we won't. No we won't. And I will show you why in a second. So, before we do that, what the heck is going on there? We will have a look at this in a second too. We've got some funkiness going on here. Probably caused by me beveling something and not realising it, but I don't believe I actually beveled anything down here on this one. Ah, we have a flipped polygon, that's what's going on. And there we go. So make certain everything's merged. Now, we know this is right. We're happy. Well, don't know about we, but I'm happy with this set. So this is going to go like this. This is our arms. This is actually going to come across onto this layer. Doesn't matter that it cuts through. If it really does bother you, however, something you can do just to clean up the geometry here. Here's not a claw. Here's a tunnel which should have cut. It'll have cut all the geometry around the edge of our geo here. It can cause problems when you do it though, especially when it can't regenerate contours. So what I'm going to do simplify out this a little bit. make certain to merge it there. So we've got our inner core, our arms, our upper, our lower one, which is no longer correct, and that can go. So we need to mirror this section and paste. So what we've got here now is, if we switch to layout, and then we send the object to layout, and we have a look here. So we're going to do a VPR. We're going to adjust our camera out to something a little bit more realistic. So this is our current mesh. If we bring up our display options, we'll split this in half, so we've got our VPR here, and we can actually have a look at what we're doing over here at the same time. We go to our objects, we've got the center ring on one, and if we move that, everything moves. Our arms, and if we rotate this, the outside rotates, the inside stays still, and the arms move. And we've got our HAB modules, which would swing out to the 90-degree mark like this when this is turning. So at this point we can actually start doing our materials, which we will start covering shortly. I'm going to actually pause the video for a moment and begin on getting ready for that. I've decided the next part will actually be, well, part 7 will be the materialing, and part 8 will be setting this all up for animation, most likely. So I'll see you on part 7 and part 8, which might not be out for a couple of days yet. Thanks for watching. My name's Rob. Enjoy.